right. Hello. Welcome to the Top Keys. My name is Vinay Patel. Thank you for joining us. Today, we have a special guest friend, Vinay Patel, former chairman of AAHOA. Vinay, how are you doing? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, doing well. Miami is Miami, right? So I'm enjoying myself. My name is Vinay Patel. I'm based right outside of Washington, D.C. I'm also a past chair along with Bharat. Many years ago, had the pleasure of serving on an officer group together and on the board for many years. I've been in the industry for 30 years, I think, if not longer.
So where did your journey begin? What city?
I grew up in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
In Richmond, Virginia, my parents migrated there when we were in 1980, and we moved from Africa. So I moved out here when I was 10 years old, and I was in Richmond, and English was the second language, by the way.
Right. What was your first property, or what was your parents' first property?
Well, once I graduated college, I got a degree in business and marketing, and I got married. And
So which one helped you acquire the property, the marriage or the degree?
Probably. The marriage. The degree didn't do anything. So we went into a small motel in Richmond. So me and my wife ran the hotel together. And the best part about that hotel, for us two, is that it was a perfect size.
Right.
And what I mean by perfect size was 15 rooms. So me and her could clean 15 rooms. We did run more than 100% occupancy,
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So
this is the 80s, 90s.
90s, yep.
Yeah.
Mid 90s. And then the hotel was perfect. It was 15 rooms.
Right.
I cleaned 15 rooms very simply in one time. And then we did laundry at 1 o'clock. And then did desk,
So that's phase one. What was phase two of your journey in this industry?
Phase two.
And why are you talking about? Why did you stay in the industry?
So I've got a little bit of an interesting background. So, as I said, I've got a degree in biz and administration, and then got married, 15-room hotel, ran it for 2 years, and I said, hey, now I've got a college degree and I can't be doing this 24 hours a day. Right? This is just crazy, and I can't be doing this. So we ended up moving to Stafford, Virginia, which is right outside of Washington, D.C., 2 hours, it's like an hour south of D.C.
But at that time, it wasn't growing as much as it is now.
Today,
right? It was a very small town.
Yep, we're talking 95 is the time period. You can go back to the hospitality industry. I could have easily moved on and not continued on the hospitality industry.
So you faced a fork in the road. You could have gone and gotten a job at, whatever D.C. area company, and they pay well, right? And cost of living is kind of not that high. But you decided to stay in hospitality.
But the thing is that when that hotel that we built, I needed financing. It's just a larger hotel, it's a 59-room hotel, and I needed financing. And so to get financing back in those days, and it was an SBA loan, by the way. And then what you call, no brand would give me a brand. That's the interesting part. There was no brand would give me a brand. So I went to Hilton, I went to Marriott, I went to IHG. Everybody said, well, you're would say you're not experienced enough.
Right.
Well, somebody could be Impact and whatever else happens. And so I got rejected. And so there was a small a new brand called Country Inn and Suites,
right,
by Radisson at the time.
Was that before Carlson Residor, or when did
it was before? It was like really Carlson Companies was the the original owner of the brand there.
So Stafford, Carlson, and I remember Country Inn Suites when it first came out, and everybody was excited. Carlson, I think it was Carlson Wagon Lit, and they were like, we're going to drive reservations to you and your hotel, and we care about you because you're the owner. We care about total cost of ownership. So tell us a little bit about that, and then let's talk about phase three when you started growing.
It was a great system back then. I just like you say, Carlson Wagon Lit was the part of the company as well. So our understanding and thought was that, hey, look, we should get their reservations, and it was a good system. It worked well, and it just was a good system. And so we built that, sold it, made a lot of money on that one. That's one was the one that was a catalyst for me in terms of financial growth. Then we moved to Northern Virginia, right outside Washington, D.C., at Dulles Airport. So we built our second country in there.
Sure. Did you do a 1031 exchange, or when you sold it, did you?
Well, we tried to do a 1031, but it didn't work.
Didn't work, right?
Because timing was too.
Because you only have like 90 days. You got to identify the property.
Exactly.
120 days to close.
It was a bit challenging, but that hotel, Sterling, Virginia, was the next cycle for me.
Right.
Then after that, we refinanced, made a lot of money, built the Hampton Inn after that, made a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
Then went Holiday Inn to...
And for the audience, let's just say relatively a lot of money. For us, anything over 100, 200 grand is a lot of money, back then especially, right?
Yeah.
And you had partners along the way, right?
Yeah.
And so how did you get those partners to believe in you and trust in you? Was it a college degree? Was it your family name? What was it?
No, it was just the fact that the track record, right? You have to have reputation. You have to have people that look up and say, okay, this guy has not followed anything up, has returned well in terms of return on investment.
Right.
And after that, it just becomes easier.
Right.
So, like if you want to, today you pick up a call and say, hey, look, I need 500,000 or $1 million or whatever.
Sure.
These guys will flock and say, okay, here, will you do it? You know what? And that's primarily because of the reputation that we have, right? And we have a good track record of every single thing that we did. And so that's what made it easier and much more fun, as a matter of fact. And
Right.
you go back to why did I continue on in the hospitality industry? And I say this all the time to people, it's just a fun business to be in. I mean, it really is. Yes, there's struggles and tribulations, but at the end of the day, it's a fun business to be in. I mean,
Let's talk a little bit about your AAHOA journey. And you say it's a fun business to be in. I'm sure in AAHOA is very fun too, trials and tribulations. But I get the feeling like you like being a fireman. You like putting fires out. You like challenges. So what was your AAHOA journey like? And
one of the things that I tell this to people all the time is that I've always been involved.
Sure.
Right? So even back in my Carlson days when I had the country and I was involved with AAHOA, board member there, I was in the committee members with the Carlson company, and then AAHOA. I was ambassador, and then AAHOA.
so who made you ambassador to AAHOA?
Sly, who was Irish.
Okay, Sailesh.
Yeah, Sly. And as a matter of fact, me and my wife both ambassadors.
Sure.
So
At the same time.
at the same time. Yep.
All right.
But that's where my journey started, and I've always liked to kind of give back, right?
Sure.
And I was trying to help and do whatever I can to do to help the industry altogether.
Now, is that a service mentality because of your nature? Your father taught you this, your mother, or what? Why do you like to give back?
I think my mom is the one who kind of drove that nature on my side. So it's my mom that kind of said, hey, look, this is how you should be. And, a lot of things that I learned and my nature that you see today, and you've been having friends for many, many years, is because of my mom.
All right, so AAHOA, you and your wife were both serving, right? I'm sure both of you could run for regional director or join for the board. Go ahead and tell us what happened.
My first time I ran for regional director, I lost.
Uh-huh.
It was an interesting point. I lost.
And it crushed you.
Oh my God, that was I hate to say this here, and I know we talk about these AAHOA elections, and it's tough. It was painful. That's all I remember. To say they were painful, and to sit there and your name not be called out when they call your names out. And stuff like
Which convention was it?
this is a special convention in New Orleans.
Ah,
Special elections.
All right.
So, but that was a tough one. But then, so 3 years later, I wanted to go back, and it worked out better for me also because my kids were younger at the time. So once they grew older, they were in high school, then it made it a lot easier.
Sure.
Right? And then say, hey, look, again, maybe it's time. And timing was good for me to get involved more. And I was an ambassador all the time as well.
Right. And did you go to the power events, the full national advocacy conference? Was that going on when you first became ambassador, or just after you won?
I would say it was the advocacy events were very small.
Okay.
And
like 50 people, 25
people.
people.
Very small. And
I think one time we stayed at College Park. It's like an hour commute into the city on a bus.
Yep, exactly. So, but it was fun. And as I said, that's what kind of drove me more to be involved in AAHOA as well, because hey, you can make a difference. And I enjoy advocacy. I think
both of us do.
Yeah, we enjoy advocacy. And I live right outside of Washington, D.C.
Right.
So hey, what better sense? That makes sense here. So at the end of the day, that started and then finally became a regional director. And then, and then I said, look, I'm going to want to become a chair.
Sure.
I said, hey, look, we're going to become a chair. So in my 4th year of my board, I said, hey, this is a good time. It was also in D.C., so it was in the D.C. area. So I said, hey, this makes perfect sense for me to run. And then I ran, and then what do you call one? And then, it's been an incredible journey.
So which convention did you win at for regional director? DC.
Yeah.
So it was Gaylord, right?
Yeah,
Gaylord National Harbor. I think it was a new hotel back then. It's probably only a year or two old.
Yep.
And so then after that, you were on the board as regional director for how many years?
Well, after that, I'm the ambassador.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'm the secretary.
Right.
So 4 years after that.
Okay. And so, but you won regional directorship before that?
4 years.
Right.
4 years.
Okay. So what was the difference between being a regional director and then being elected as secretary? What was the... And I think you were the only secretary that ran unopposed so far.
Mm-hmm. Right. The difference is, as I said, from being a regional director, you're probably one of 30 board members. You have influence, you have say, you have input, and you can give ideas. But I think that when you become a secretary or an officer, you have a lot more wielding power. You have a lot more influence on things, and you have a lot more influence on the industry outside, right? I mean, just to be able to go to a conference like NABHOA or any of the brand conferences, that part really kind of gives you that extra ability, extra influence, extra things that kind of you can make an impact in the industry.
So as regional director, what were you part of doing? What were you part of changing? And then as an officer, what were you part of doing? And then as chairman?
I think my journey towards the officer time period was the best time. And the reason it was the best time, it was COVID times.
Right.
So COVID times was challenging times in terms of the industry. So I always look at it in the sense that, look, I can lead at the best of times, right? At the best of times, it's easy to lead.
Yeah.
Everything's going well.
Right.
During COVID times, that's when you really step up, or should step up as a leader, right?
You were regional director for the DC Metro, Virginia, Maryland area, secretary, then treasurer, vice chairman, chairman. But you always talk about how proud you are of your service and your time at AAHOA and you giving back. There's a reason why you wanted to give back. Why did you want to give back?
What I really liked at that time was able to help people, just like you say. And you talk about small wins, so we had a property owner complain about short-term rentals in their hotels, and so who's going to go. Luckily, I have the ability to speak, right? And so I think that's one of my gifts that I have. But those are the strengths some people have other strengths, right? So that's what I'm saying. So you kind of play off the people's strengths compared to the weaknesses. And obviously during the officer period, secretary to chair, it was COVID times.
Right.
It
1 or 2 of the years was COVID times, right?
2 years.
Wow.
Well, 2020.
Right.
And then obviously the impact was almost over a year after that.
Right.
So
Because
traveled.
the Orlando convention was online.
Yeah.
But we came back in Dallas, full force. Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, that was probably one of the most pivotal times as well for the industry.
Yeah.
And then so I feel like I was privileged to be in that role of leadership at that time, just because anybody can lead during the good days.
Right.
It's easy.
Right.
But then the tough times are the times when you really should step up. And I had that opportunity to step up for the industry, and more importantly for our members.
Right.
Our members are really got benefit out of it. And here we are, 6, 7, 8 years later.
Right.
6 years later, we're back at it.
Yeah.
We're back to normal almost, So.
Right. Okay, so as we're closing up, look, we've got some challenging times ahead of us, right? We've got the capital stack has gone up. We've got labor. I don't think there's any sense of the cost going down. Utilities are up. Insurance is up. Global supply chain, if we want to build something. What do you think the future holds for us in this industry?
I think that we just need to become better operators.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
More efficient.
Yeah. I mean, labor's this and utilities to everything. And you got, and technology also in the industry today compared to when I ran that 15-room hotel.
Right.
There was no technology.
Right.
And a calculator was my only technology back in those days.
Right.
Today you've got all this stuff that's out there. So the cost of that doesn't make it easy as well. So I just think that we need to learn to make things more efficient.
Right.
And it is something for the industry as a whole. We all kind of worry.
Yep.
I mean, looking ahead, you got some headwinds in that side. Yes, everybody's making money today and markets are good. But it's really the street corner business too. Right? Something maybe bad in Florida, whereas in DC it's great. This year in Washington DC it's great because you get a lot of things going on.
So your son will be the 3rd generation hotelier.
Yep.
Right? So maybe we could have him on with you next time.
Yeah.
When you said that about the only technology you had was a calculator, my father made me hand calculate the sales tax. Right? And if you do it accurately, you get a $20 refund, rebate back from the county.
Yeah.
Right? And so these are the things that so what do you, what's your nuggets, what's your piece of wisdom to hand down to the next generation of hoteliers?
For the next generation, they're going to have to be a little bit more sharper because you got a lot of things around you. Like I said, back in our days, when you go to high school or college, you were engineer or doctor or something, accountant or whatever, and that's it. Today, I don't even know how these 18-year-olds know what they were.
Right. There were no lawyers in my family. They were in engineering, medical, or hospitality.
So, but today they got so many options.
Right.
And there's a lot more granular too, right? So
Sure.
you can do a lot of stuff. So I think to take advantage of that is the most important thing. I think people today in the younger generation just don't take advantage of things that are given to them.
Right.
I've got my kids as well who can do anything and everything they want, but yet they choose to go somewhere else to do something else. Now, granted, they're both in the hospitality industry. And it's a fun business, right? So that's what I'd say. I tell people today that, hey, look, choose wisely. But the good thing is that you can also fail and go back at it again.
Right.
You can always say, okay, I didn't like accounting, I didn't like this here, I didn't like that. I can do this here. It's a lot easier to kind of transform into something else there and stuff. So, but hard work is also the other part. I keep saying this to David at this conference when I get on stage all the time. I say hard work is the biggest differentiator between the guy that makes it and the guy that doesn't make it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Vinay, I really appreciate you coming on. Gonna come back again?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So it's Vinay signing off. Hopefully you guys will join us on the next podcast and you had a good time, right?
Yep.
All right.